again, everyone. I'm Lindsay, and welcome to UTBB's latest Smokehouse Chat, our ongoing web series where we provide info and updates on the fight to protect Bristol Bay. Today, we're excited to share the latest news on how you can help stop Pebble mine. In this chat, we'll talk about the upcoming comment period on Pebble's application and how you can make a difference. We have entered one of the most important opportunities in the whole federal permitting process to have our voices heard, where we must be clear that we do not support this mine because it would have widespread and devastating impacts on our land, water, and way of life. Why has this comment period started now? Remember back in December, Pebble applied for a permit from the Army Corps of Engineers. This application launched the federal permitting process, and this week, the Army Corps opened the first public comment period within that process. This period is called scoping, and the scoping process is where the Army Corps determines what areas and impacts it needs to consider in its review of Pebble's plan. So, imagine that the Army Corps will draw a circle around the area of impact of the mine. Their job is to consider every possible impact within that circle, and this is where you come in, because we must use our voices during this critical time to ensure the Army Corps draws the most accurate outline to determine how Pebble will impact us. We are the experts when it comes to how Pebble will impact our people in our region. Only we can share how this mine would affect our families, our communities, our cultures, our jobs, and our future. Without citizens outlining how this development would impact us, the Army Corps will draw as small a scope of review as possible and may not include many of the downriver and broader impacts of the mine. The takeaway from this is that the only way our concerns will be included in the permit review is if we all weigh in and raise every potential impact on us socially, physically, culturally, spiritually, and economically. And how can you do that? Starting April 1st and ending April 30th, 2018, the Army Corps opened up the public comment period on how Pebble mine could impact you. Pebble's permit application, as we've discussed in past chats, includes plans for what would still be a giant toxic mine at Bristol Bay's headwaters, and now with massive infrastructure reaching all the way into Cook Inlet. It's clear that impacts to the region will not only harm Bristol Bay, but also Cook Inlet, the Kenai Peninsula, the state of Alaska, and because Bristol Bay is a global resource, the nation and the world. The mere 30-day comment period is one of the shortest periods for a project of this size. In addition to asking for written comments, there will only be 7 hearings in Bristol Bay and 2 more in Anchorage and Homer. UTBB will be hosting community prep sessions in each hearing community to provide information and assistance with testimony prep. You can find all the details for both the hearings and the prep stations in the comments below this video. It's clear the Army Corps is fast-tracking Pebble's application. Drafting an EIS normally takes years, but the schedule that they have published would get to a final permit decision by early 2020, making this one of the fastest process permits in recent memory for what will be the nation's largest open pit mine. By comparison, the Donlin mine had a 106-day scoping comment period, and there were 16 hearings held throughout the Yukon-Kuskokwim. The Army Corps isn't prioritizing adequate opportunity and time to include our concerns, so there's never been more reason for Bristol Bay to stand up and fight for our home. Please sign a comment letter today or plan to testify at one of the public hearings. To make it easy, you can find links to letters for your area, and you can personalize in the comments below. The federal permit is not the only one Pebble will need to build the mine, but it's a major permit, and without it, the mine won't be able to be built. The EIS will be the main document to guide the agency's permitting decisions. After scoping, the Army Corps and other agencies will go behind closed doors to write multiple drafts of the EIS. The public won't get another opportunity to comment until there is a draft of the EIS ready for review. So again, please, take a minute today to help protect Bristol Bay. Stay tuned for testimony tips and more updates on the permitting process, coming soon in future Smokehouse Chats. In the meantime, don't hesitate to contact us for more information. UTBB's contact info is in the comments below. Thanks for tuning in.